Nothing is more important in Twilight Struggle than available action rounds. There are a few cards that take them away, but this card gives an opportunity for the Americans to get an extra one. What can the Soviet do? We'll take a look at that today on Legendary Tactics. North Sea Oil is an interesting event card. Outside of a big and inefficient investment in the space race, this card is the only chance for the American player to gain an extra action round. The Soviet player will have to tread carefully with this one. Let's learn how to play it. First of all, let's look at the event card. North Sea Oil is a starred 3-op US late war event card. Taking the event blocks the Soviet OPEC event and allows the US to play 8 cards this turn. Please note that the card says may, and so playing the extra card is optional. For the Soviet player, your first instinct is likely to send this to space, but don't panic. Save it for the end of the turn and surprise the US player with it, who likely won't have been able to prepare for it properly. The only exception to this is playing it on turn 10, where you definitely don't want the US to get 2 consecutive turns in a row right before final scoring. This card can be neutered if the American doesn't have the China card and/or you've been able to hit him with something like the terrorism and/or Aldrich Ames remix event. This card presents the American player with an interesting choice. Do you take the 3 ops, which are so valuable at this stage of the game, or do you take the event to get 2 consecutive action rounds at the end of the turn? If you are playing the event, it is probably best as a headline. Or, if you have the time and opportunity, you could take the event mid-turn, effectively trading a mid-turn action round for 2 at the end. It's best if you have the China card in hand, or even something like Star Wars or Salt Negotiations, to make sure that there are plenty of cards to choose from and to avoid having to play a disagreeable event in order to capitalize on North Sea Oil. This event also could be wasted if you're planning on holding a card over to a future turn, like Voice of America for your turn 10 coup de grace. In turn 10, this event is a no-brainer. The opportunity to play 2 action rounds in a row right at the end of the game will perhaps allow you to snag, say, domination of a region, or to deny the Soviet the same. Doing so means you will likely be placing influence in a battleground to remove USSR control and changing the balance in a region. Or you are following up a great event like Voice of America, Ussuri River Skirmish, OAS Founded, and the like with some influence placement via operations points. And the fact that this card also blocks OPEC is a nice bonus and can potentially make a big difference, especially if the game is close. If OPEC is still in play, and if you do some math and find out that it could have a big impact, you may want to play it for this reason alone. If you are making your way through the late war, and if you haven't seen this card yet, it is fair to assume that the Soviets have it in hand and are looking to drop it on the last action round, hoping to catch you off guard. Play your space race card early and hang on to a couple of decent cards for the end of your turn, just in case, so you can take advantage of it. If the USSR doesn't have it in hand, there's very little downside to playing this way anyway. So in summary, as long as it's not the last turn, the USSR can likely get away with playing this card and giving the US an extra play. Those 3 ops are pretty valuable as the game winds down. And for the US, this is best played as a headline on turn 10, but could be useful in other turns as well, provided that you see a path forward to take advantage of it. If you don't, or if you are short of cards because you've been forced to discard, you can take the ops. The OPEC block is also nice, but not necessarily reason enough to take this event, as it is a more speculative effect. This has been our analysis of the North Sea Oil event in the game Twilight Struggle. We hope you got some value out of this video, and if you did, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. This is Legendary Tactics.